Hello, and thank you for tuning in with me, Rose Ward, stampersdelight.com. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. I was a little late today, a little under the weather. Sorry about that. But it's all good now. So I have a couple of things to remind you. If you like that mug or other stamping apparel, go to stampersdelightshop.com. Also, I have my April online and in-person retreat going on with the Thankful Garden. This is a beautiful suite. All the links will be below for you to join or to check out what is included in the class. For this class, you're going to get over $100 worth of product so that you can create 8 beautiful projects, either in person or online. I urge everybody to sign up early for these. These are the new online exclusive products, which go live March 4th. And I really hate to see anybody have to wait for back orders. So sign up early. I still have my mini paper share going on, where you'll get 6 different 6x6 samplers of the online exclusive papers. For April, I also have my scrapbook class online, and that is with the Everyday Moments. So you get that sticker sheet and all the designer series paper that goes with it. And we will be doing two two-page layouts. Also, I have the Botanical Textured Sweet, which I'm going to be using today. And this is for the online April card class. So you're going to get a half a pack of both of the designer series papers that go with it. You're going to get the gems and the ribbon, and you can add the bundle on. So let's get started. So here is the bundle, and you get these matted gems, neutral colors. I love that. They go with anything. This white ribbon. It's very pliable, great for tying bows. Wait for it, wait for it. Look at these dies. I love these. Now, I'm going to flip mine over because that's the way I use them, and I number them. So in this video, while I'm talking about them, try to put these back in order here. You're going to hear me say number 1, number 2. So the way I number these is I start with the largest. Okay, well, you get the idea. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and that would be number 8. So that's how you're going to hear me talk about these dies. But they are really nice, great with that indentation, embossed image. And then also in this suite, you get the mini corrugated embossing folder. I can hear all the oohs and ahs right now. And then you get the 2 packs of designer series paper. So I'm going to put this aside for a minute. Let me show you some cards that I did with this. This is one of the cards I used, and you could see the corrugated embossing folder and the dies that I used. So that's a nice thank you card. And for the inside, I also used that die. Here's another one that I did. Again, using the dies to cut that out. And I have a couple more here, but we're going to hold off on that until we do the project, okay? So, for this project, and the downloadable PDF will be on my blog, on my newsletter later today, and the instructions will also be on my blog. All right, so I am going to bring in, let's see, what do I want to bring in here? I'm going to bring in some basic beige. I don't have everything pre-cut like I normally do. It was a busy week. We had our Stamp Out the California Wildfires presentation last night, which is still going on. Thank you to all that joined. Over 30 demonstrators participated in that, so a lot of great ideas. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half. And this is a regular half a sheet of paper, 5.5 by 8.5. I am going to go ahead and score that in half at 4.25. And then I'm also going to score it at 1.25. Oop, just cut it. Okay, I need that paper for that anyway. All right, let's do this again. We're going to score it. Leave that over there at 4.25. And then we're going to bring it in here. And we are going to score it at 1.25. I still have a slight headache, so I apologize. But I really wanted to get this done because I think you're going to love what you can do with this sweet. I'm going to give it a good burnishing, and I'm going to burnish this back this way. Okay, now let's cut some designer series paper. The hardest thing about this is picking out what designer series paper I want to use. So since I have some of these cut already, we're going to use those. Let's use these pieces first. I'm going to bring this in, just cut that off. I want to use this, and you can see it's double-sided. Let's cut that piece off, and I can use that as a frame. I'll show you how to do that too. Okay, so I need a piece. So this first score line, if you line it up, it's at 3 inches. So I'm going to do this at 2.5 so that I can, let me do it this way, 5.25. So I can save that little piece right there for something else. And then I am going to cut that at 2.5. I'm going to use that piece. And then for this piece, I just want to see, that's too small, which is fine. We're going to bring in another sheet. And we will bring in this one. And you can see that's got like a linen back to it. And we are going to cut that at 1 inch. And then I'm going to turn it and do it at 5.25. And another one at 5.25. So I need 2 of those. Leaving those pieces, I'm sure to use them. I'm then going to layer this, and this is why I only did 2.5, because this is going to fold back, so why waste that strip? I'm going to use, actually I have my Stamp and Seal Plus here today. And I'm going to leave a little border there. And then I'm going to glue this down. Just like that. I have these 2 strips. One I'm going to put right here. So you can see you have a border on each piece. And then this one is going to go right here. So you can see how it lines up with the basic beige showing. And I'm going to add that right there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to bring in my dies in my embossing folder. And I am going to use number 3. I'm going to grab some crumb cake. Let's see if this piece is big enough. I think it'll just make it. And I'm going to cut that out first. Let's bring in the die cutting machine. Don't forget to share my videos. Leave me comments. By sharing my video, you're in the drawing for a giveaway. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I didn't pull out a giveaway, but I'll do that when I'm done. And I will announce that winner on Sunday, my scrapbook Sunday. Now, you have to tell me where you're from because unfortunately I can only send it to the US. I'm going to pop that out and you can see that beautiful embossed image there. I'm going to take this off, leave that one right there. I'm then going to grab this piece here and do my mini corrugated embossing folder. I'm just going to stick it right in there. And we'll emboss that. So I got that piece. I'm going to switch it back. I'm just doing it step by step. You could do these steps together before you take the embossing folder. I'm going to take the number 3 die. I'm also going to take the number 4. So I have both of those. I'm going to grab a piece that's going to fit. Let's see if I have one. I have to cut this one. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that. So it fits in my machine. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer that here. I'm going to layer this piece right here. And I am going to layer that one in there. I'm going to take my Post-it note tape. I get that on Amazon. I love this stuff. I'm going to line those up. And I'm going to run that through. Please share my videos. It really does help us get out there. Our names get out there. Share it with your friends so they can also follow me. All right. So when I take that off, I'm going to save that over here because I can use it again. What I get is a border from these two pieces. So that's how you make that border, by using the two together. This piece I'm going to actually put on the front and let it hang over a bit. So for that, I'm going to use my dimensionals. Only on the one side. I'm putting quite a few on here because I want to make sure that it is sturdy enough. I'm going to lay that right there. Now I can tuck a couple more under there if I want, but I think that's going to be good. I'm going to take this piece. Now I could use that side, but I'm actually going to use this side. I want to show off that beautiful paper. I'm going to bring in my glue press. This is from my Sweet Petunia. It does have our liquid glue in it. It's refillable. Remember, all the links are below. I'm heavy-handed with the liquid glue, so this helps. I'm going to layer that right on top. I'm going to grab another piece of basic beige. That's where this piece comes in handy that I used. And what I'm going to do is I am going to, this piece right here, I'm going to snip that off. I'm going to use that. I'm going to bring in, this is the number 7, but I'm going to stamp it first so I can make sure it's straight. I'm going to bring in my early espresso. And I'm going to stamp a little note of appreciation. Put that over there for me. This I'm going to layer right on top of there. I'm going to bring in that Post-it note tape again. Well, let me bring in my machine. Layer that, make sure it's straight. Put that right over the top. I think it moved a little bit. Well, we'll find out after it goes through. Just going to remove that. Pop that right out. Ooh, came out straight. Yay. Okay. Put my die back before I lose it. So there I have my sentiment. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm actually going to cut a 2x2 square. I'm going to do that at a diagonal or a diamond shape. I'm going to bring in one of those flowery stamps. Again, I'm going to use the darker color. And I am going to stamp that right there. I don't have to use my mat because it does have the cling stamp. That's going to go right there. And again, I'm going to flip it over. Use some dimensionals. I think 2 would be enough. It'll hold it. I'm going to add that right there. I'm going to bring in that sentiment piece. Add that right there. And I'm going to bring in that ribbon. I'm going to tie a nice little bow. I'll tell you, these dies are going to be great with any of our stamp sets. So while I tell you, you know, it's better to buy the suite because you get all the products. These aren't my good scissors, but we'll make do. You really, I mean, the dies themselves are just great. Okay, so there's my bow. I want to cut this a little bit more. I think my scissors are on the other table. I have like so many scissors, but whenever I'm looking for them, I don't have them. I'm going to add that right there. Now for that, I'm going to use glue dots. You could also use your Stamp and Seal, but the glue dots also work very well. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to add my bow. Before I add the gems, I am going to stamp the inside. A little note of appreciation. Thank you. And then I'm going to grab that flowery stamp again and stamp that right there. So there I have a quick, easy fun fold using those great dies and the corrugated embossing folder. I'm going to then bring in the matted gems that come with it. I want this to really pop out, so I am going to add a couple of these. Bringing in my paper, my envelope, I'm going to do the lip of my envelope, which is one of the things I love to do, make the matching envelope. I'm going to choose that side. I'm just going to line that up. And then I can go ahead and do this. And there I have a matching envelope for that. On the other side, I'm going to grab that flower or greenery. And now I have a matching envelope for my fun fold. Isn't that gorgeous? And I love the basic beige because you can stamp right on it. And of course, we could turn it over and it would look like that. So let me show you a couple of alternatives, because this fun fold, you can do a couple of different ways. So here is the first one that I did. You can see it's the same exact way that I did that. I just stamped off that image. But you can also turn it around this way, and it would come out like this. So using the same measurements, you just turn it, and you have another fun fold. Same measurements, just stamping the opposite way. Let me show you another card that I did with the black and white. For this one, I used the corrugated embossing folder on the black, and you can see that I used the dies. And then I also embossed the designer series paper. I go through a lot of thank you cards, so I like to make those. So I have another one. So and then these two that I showed earlier. This is a gorgeous suite. So I hope you'll sign up for my online class with this. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we do other cards, not those. All right, so next, let's do a card on the fly. I'm just going to close this up. You want to make sure you put that pin back in. Whoop. Put that pin back in so it doesn't dry up. That should be good. So let me bring in a piece of pecan pie. I'm going to cut that in half. And so this is my card on the fly, but it's actually another fun fold for you. We're going to cut that at 4 1/4. So there's my base. I am going to bring in, let's see which paper I have left over that I can use. Let's use a different color here. So we have this one. This one would go really well with the smoky slate, but it also goes with this. I'm going to cut that at 4 inches. And there's the other side. I'm going to cut. I'm going to bring in the largest one, the number 1. I'm going to cut that out. You know what? I think I'm going to change that color. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm going to bring in my machine again. And I want those nice embossed cut images there. So we're going to go ahead and run that through. That moved a little bit. There we go. Take that piece, and that's going to go right here. I think that makes it really stand out. I love the natural colors. We're going to go ahead with that. Oop, that's a little crooked, isn't it? Be very careful if you put it down crooked. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people use the liquid glue, because you can wiggle it. But if you don't press that down too hard, you can also wiggle it with the Stamp and Seal. Okay, then I'm going to bring in another piece of, let's see, we're going to go with the Early Espresso. I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to score that in half. Excuse me. Give it a good burnishing. And then I'm going to grab my dies over here. And for this one, I am going to grab the number, what I call number 2, the next to the largest. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Now you've seen me do this with those arch dies. And you could do this with just about any dies. I'm going to hang that over the creased edge. I'm going to cut that down. So really, we get 2 fun folds today. We're going to go ahead, and because it's 2 pieces of cardstock, I'm going to go back. I really hope you'll share my videos and let your friends see all the great creations, especially with this beautiful sweet, which I'm having a ball with. When I take that off, I now have the inside, or the insert. Look at that. Great, right? Put that one back. We're going to add that right on top here. So again, with today I'm using Stamp and Seal Plus. Just got to give that a little twist. We're going to set that right in the center. I'm then going to use this piece of pecan pie. I'm going to grab the number 3. I'm going to cut that out. So you can see again those embossed images. I'm going to take these plates off. As soon as I find my embossing folder, which is buried already, I'm going to emboss that. I always think I put things where they're supposed to be. Okay, so we're going to emboss that. Let's move this out of the way for a second. That piece is going to go right inside here on the front. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. If you case my projects, please do. Tag me so I can see what you've done with this sweet. Now remember that inside piece from the first card we did? Well, now I can use that right in there. And I'm just using the different textured papers. Go ahead and add that. Again, I'm going to bring in, this time I'm going to bring in, I'm going to use the beige, basic beige. It shows up better. I am going to stamp in the Early Espresso. You're seriously the best. I'm going to grab that long die, which I call number 8. And I'm going to cut that out. Now again, you can do all your cutting and all your embossing at one time. I just want to show you step by step how I do this. one out. Let's move that out of the way. That is going to be for my sentiment. Now I'm going to take a piece of crumb cake, which I have right here. I'm going to grab the larger stamp. I'm going to stamp that down. I'm going to grab 2 of those. And I'm going to do a little fussy cutting. I actually want my paper snips, not those, because that's just a large pair of scissors I have, but the paper snips get really into those little areas. You hear me moving my chair around here. Okay, so I am going to do a little fussy cutting. I'm going to cut these out and then just leaving a little border around those. There's no die to cut these out. Again, I'm usually on live Friday mornings, 10 o'clock Eastern time. And then Sundays, I have my Scrapbook Sunday 101. I just started calling that in the beginning because I was kind of new to scrapbooking. So I hope you'll join me for both. If you missed the live on Friday, you can always watch the replay here on YouTube or Facebook. Today was just a fluke day where I didn't feel too well, but then once I get stamping, I feel fine. Does that happen to anybody else? I'm like, oh, I don't feel so hot this morning, but then get crafting and you feel fine. Okay, we've got one there. Let's do this one. So the PDF will be of the first card. And this one, you just follow the directions using those beautiful dies. If you don't want a fussy cut, you can always just cut around these like a square or use the dies to cut it out. But I wanted these separated. When you're fussy cutting, turn the paper, not necessarily the scissors. It's a little bit easier. So you see how I'm turning the paper? Some people love the fussy cut, others don't. Oh, I'm not even in camera view, sorry. I didn't know what fussy cutting was the first time I heard it. I was like, what is that? Quite a few years ago. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these onto the front of my card. Again, I'm going to grab the dimensionals. And my take your pick tool, which is over here. And we're going to add some dimensionals to this. Don't forget to join my April online class because it's going to feature this set. And then I'm going to add that right here. Now, because that's going to rock, what I do is I add a little glue in the middle, and then I will add a dimensional on each end. However, it's still going to rock because that's already puffed up with the dimensionals. So here's a little trick for you. Double your dimensionals and it'll be the same height that you need it. making sure that it's not overhanging. There we go. So this would still open this way. We're going to take that ribbon, tie a cute little bow. And we'll snip that off. Oh yes, got the good scissors now. I'm gonna grab my glue dots. I'm gonna add a glue dot right there. I'm gonna add that. Move it over a little bit so you can read it. I'm gonna take, I think, the number 2. Let's see. Too big. We're gonna grab the number 3. And again, with the basic beige, I'm gonna cut that out. I'll do that on the side here. You've seen me cut enough. I'm just gonna cut that off on the side. Again, don't forget to follow me, subscribe on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave me a comment, and share my videos. And you'll be in the drawing for what I'm going to show you when I'm done. And that I will give that out on Sunday. Now, I forgot to pull a name for today's video, so I will do that after, and I will add the person's name here. Okay. All right, so this says you're seriously the best. A little note of appreciation. I'm going to grab the other stamp. I'm going to ink that up, and then I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here. There we go. I'm going to tap that off like twice, maybe 3 times. And I'm going to put that right there. So you can still see the writing. It's like a nice little image back there. I'm going to add some glue or adhesive. I'm going to add that in the center. And then I am going to finish it off with some of our gems as soon as I find them. They are somewhere here. Maybe over there they are. And I think I'm going to use the basic beige ones. And there I have another quick, easy fun fold for you today. I also have this one, so let me show you this one. This one was done a little bit different. I added one more layer. I only used the one die cut there. But it's basically the same idea. What do you think? You like those? So let's bring in the other cards, just so I can show you again. And again, they'll be on Facebook and they'll be on my blog and my newsletter later today. So we have these, and then we have the fun fold, the first fun fold that I showed you. And then again, we have the black and white. And the same fun fold, just the opposite way. Ta-da! I hope you enjoyed today's video. Sorry I couldn't be live this morning. My head had a different idea. I'm going to grab right now a couple of giveaways. So just bear with me. Okay. Today's giveaway, and I will announce the winner later today on here, is the Friendly Seagulls. So don't forget to share my videos and all that good stuff. This is today's giveaway. I will announce the winner later because I haven't pulled the name. And this is the giveaway that I will be giving away on Sunday. So you're going to want to tune in, share my video, and all that good stuff. Okay, those are the 2 giveaways. My phone is, not sure why that's happening, but we'll just move that out of the way. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, just let me know. Leave me a comment. I love to hear your comments. And also, have a great weekend. Keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.